talking about this Terminator movie, and as Martin and I have been saying, you know, these Terminator movies, man, are like real Terminators. They ain't gonna stop until they get it right. These movies just kill everybody.
Yeah.
You know, I've been talking about. I said, you know what? Terminator should go back and kill James Cameron. I mean, you know, after the original Terminator, and after Terminator 2,
gets the first 2 out.
Yeah,
and then kill him.
Why do you care what happens to her?
Because I was her.
Shirts, get them. Mugs, buy them. Phone covers, ask for them. Yeah, order them. Oh, starting with that classic black tee with the white logo. I ain't got time for this bullshit. Got 4 movies tonight. You better sell these shirts. You better slang these shirts.
Man.
So go over there and get those. And thank you for your support. That last one, Genesis, Terminator Genesis, that was torture, man.
It's all wrong. John sent me here to save you.
I've been waiting for you.
That should have been a badass moment right there. I looked at that where the old Terminator got to kill a young, pretty Terminator.
Yeah.
You know, and I thought that's when I was going to be good, but I don't even remember. That movie's so bad.
Blocked it out. So much has been blocked
I forgot how everything went wrong, but I do remember it went horribly wrong. And people had hope because they had the Godfather come out and talk about it. James Cameron. They had James Cameron, who he gave, you know, James Cameron. He was all up in this movie's ass.
Yeah.
He was like the John Connor of this series. Like, he'll save us. He'll save the future. You know? I mean,
well, he was the hype man for it.
He was.
They're like, if you don't believe us, talk to John.
Yes.
Yes. This, I feel, is a true spiritual sequel to my work.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that has paid tribute in a way that I can appreciate, and I fully endorse it.
And he didn't even say that. He wasn't even like, I'm the word of authority. He's like, no, I just sat in the theater and I was just a fan.
I had no idea what to expect sitting down. I wasn't involved in the making of the film.
Make sure you got that.
Yeah, I wasn't involved. I was just
not involved in the making of the film. I remember I just said that.
I was just cashing my check. I
didn't direct it. I didn't write it. I'm just a fanboy. So I'm in a dark theater. Movie starts.
Martin, he got one of your shirts, man. You need to go back in the time and kill him. Get your shirt back.
Jeez, look how it changes tone.
Yeah,
like the hue is just dropped out of all the saturation is dropped out on sections of it.
Yeah, I know, man. Look, you can't trust the man who can't even decide what shirt he want to wear. So he just combines two. Yeah. You notice on this movie, he ain't said shit.
Did he not?
No, he did not say anything. His name is attached as producer, I think.
Right.
But you know, after Genesis came out, he was talking that all up. He said, you know what, I'll just sit down and shut the f up.
Okay, because this one, the stars, the people who put it together that we saw, they couldn't stop saying his name.
Yeah. They were talking a lot of shit. He didn't say shit.
Okay.
You notice James Cameron wasn't there. They're talking about consider this like a reboot in a way because they're forgetting other movies. So that's a good start.
Yeah.
Consider this like the Force Awakens.
Yeah.
Of the Terminator
That's
movies.
how I thought of it.
A soft reboot. And the one to get things back on track. You know, we got to kind of keep doing what we're doing just a little bit, and then we can start taking some chances. But at this point, if you can't even trust James Cameron, man, who can you trust with this? And I ain't trusting no one, until I see the movie, which I did with you.
Yep.
And a lot of people saying, well, I ain't trusting no one but y'all to tell us about it. You two guys, y'all don't get paid like James Cameron.
We should.
We should, though. Y'all are honest people out there. You tell it like it is, that is what we will do with our review for Terminator. What is it called? Dark Fate. Dark Fate. Oh shit, that might be an unfortunate title right there. I mean, especially the way things been going. Yeah. Or you know what?
Or hey, maybe they felt lucky.
Or maybe just maybe they finally got it right. Let's go ahead and take a look at the trailer. People already, they've lost a little faith in the franchise, and can't blame him for that. So I'm gonna start by telling you just who the people are who are going to not like this right off the bat, and we'll just get everybody out the way right now.
Okay.
One, if you hate girl power or lady power or vagina power, if you hate any kind of, you're not pleased with any kind of female empowerment at all, then you probably are not going to like this very much. If you're the one that's complained about Rey was the new Skywalker, that bitch, what? Give me back my penis.
Right.
If you're that person, you're not gonna be thrilled with this because the hero is female. The target. The Terminator's target is female. Shit, they practically have a female Terminator in here. Mackenzie Davis. I mean, she's human, but
Enhanced human.
She's enhanced human, but she's pretty much
She's
a Terminator.
basically. They could have made her a Terminator.
Yeah, already throughout most of the movie, you're hanging with chicks. So if that's not your thing, then you're not gonna like it. 2, if you don't like Mexicans. you ain't gonna like this because in this movie they got a super Mexican, El Terminator right here,
Super Mexican.
They got a super Mexican in this. And the funny thing
They
is
spent a lot of time in Mexico.
They spend a lot of time in Mexico, and sure he's a villain, but he still has cool powers. He's strong. And that's either going to make you very mad or it's going to terrify you, one way or the other. If you don't like Mexicans, if you're part of Trump's America that want that wall up, then you will not enjoy this very much. And now some people are saying, well, look, man, that's fine. That's fine. I ain't here to see no chicks. I ain't here to see no Mexicans. I can deal with that as long as I get to hang with Arnold a little bit. As long as I get to hang with Schwarzenegger. As long as he's kicking ass, I'm good. Well, the good news is you do get to see him, but not for long.
Yeah. not as much as you'd hope.
No, not as much as you hope. You do get a good serving of Schwarzenegger in this movie, but he really doesn't come in until the last third of the film.
It's right before the third act.
Yeah, right. Yeah, a little before the third act. Let's just say more than half the movie's done.
Yeah.
By the time he comes up. Now, the good news is that I think that not having Schwarzenegger in the movie for most of the time, let's just say that you're not a xenophobe or a racist or a sexist. If you can deal with Schwarzenegger not being there for a little while, I think the good news is that him not being there so long is a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think it works better for the story. I think for a lot of these movies, they've really tried to force Arnold in there since he's been the biggest face of it.
Right.
For so long.
It's like it's not a real Terminator movie unless he shows up.
And because I'm glad that he was in it just the right amount of time. It wasn't that they tried to to put him in there at the very beginning and try to make some story up or make some excuse as to why we hanging with the Terminator again. Mm-hmm. At the same time, it's not like they left him out for the whole movie, and then they pull something like Terminator Salvation, where they pretty much just thawed his ass out for a cameo.
Yeah,
had his ass walk out of a refrigerator. I'm surprised you didn't see Tupperware and shit fall out when he walked out. It's a nice backstory that they give him here, and it's just enough to tell you the evolution of what Terminators do. We don't have to go too long with it, and I think it ends at a good time because there was a moment where he started trying to do his Terminator stand-up, and I was like, okay, you need to terminate that shit right now.
No, it was like a humorous, unconscious humorous, saying once or twice is fine. But yeah, when we start intentionally making jokes, I was like, all right, look, goddammit.
Yeah. When he started doing open mic, I was just like, okay, nobody want to hear that shit. Yeah. You need to get back to killing people.
You are a robot. So.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as this movie tries to ignore that, you are a robot.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Nobody want to hear your jokes, man. Overall, his story does make us laugh, and it does give us some good action. And I think it gives the fans what they want as far as what they want to see with Schwarzenegger. I think it's just the right amount. How'd you feel about that?
About whether it was the right amount?
Yeah.
I mean, all things considering what they do, Sure, and it does give enough time for you to get to know the real three main characters. I didn't even think about this being a girl power kind of thing. It was just three strong female characters, and it's like, all right, go with that. It worked fine for me.
Yeah, and that's that goes for me too. I did not see this as some feminist movie. I did not see this as some girl power movie or some chick flick or some chick film. No. If there's any time to have this be a female story, it's this movie, because it's always really been. I know y'all have seen Schwarzenegger, and he's cool as a Terminator and everything. Terminators look badass. I get it. Silver skeletons shooting people and stuff. That's badass. Yes. But as far as the story, it's always been Sarah Connor's story.
Yeah.
I mean the good ones.
The good ones.
And I ain't talking about them, fake ass alternate universe Sarah Connors either,
Right.
I'm not talking about the Sarah Connor Chronicles, and I'm not talking about Dragon Queen, trying to be Sarah Connor. I'm talking about the real shit. I'm talking about Linda Hamilton. She's finally kind of had to deal with, look, everything I tried to protect, it didn't work.
Yeah.
I have to live with the crushing reality that the world is.
Yeah, right.
There's nothing I'm gonna do about it.
Right. And she's wanted. She's living off the grid.
Yeah.
And still trying.
It's the character. No, she's the character that I wanted. Like somebody who's just finally kind of admitted defeat and just said, "Well, I'm just gonna keep fighting just out of anger."
Mm-hmm.
And plus,
because what else?
And I got nothing else to do. Like I'm gonna get a job or something. And and the cool thing with her mission, the way she's not even a mission. It's just the way she's living her life. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but there's a certain aspect of her backstory that she hints at that would actually help the series continue if they want to break the cycle of just giving us the same old thing that we've seen. You'll recognize it when you see it. Do you know what I'm talking about?
The way you're saying this, I do not know what you mean.
I'll tell you when we're done.
Okay.
But there was something that she talked about that's still going on, and the reason why she's out there doing this.
Okay.
And I thought, all right, it'll be sort of you'll be taking sort of a drastic turn. Might even be a risk if you do it. But if you did that, we can start leaving this whole thing and repeating this same story over and over again.
I don't think we can.
Linda Hamilton, besides her character just being I think better developed at this point, I think she's good.
Yeah,
I think she's she's
good.
Yeah, she's really good in this. And it's been great to see what she's done in the other movies, but damn, man, she's been more of a badass more than ever in this movie. And it's just she's instead of somebody again who has to play the victim or somebody who's on the run trying to play the half victim, she's totally owned up to accepting who she is. And as far as I'm concerned, she's a bona fide action star from after seeing this. She even put on a fake ass and some titties for this.
Right.
Yeah. Mackenzie Davis, man. Mackenzie Davis, I think is cool. How'd you feel about Mackenzie Davis?
She's good at being a physical actor.
You didn't like her?
Nah.
I liked her, man. I mean, I had no big problem with her in the film.
Well, when we get into later in this review, I can tell you why.
Yeah, I tell you, man, I know what her role is, and I think for the role that she was playing, that's fine. I mean, she plays an enhanced human, like we were saying, which I just thought was fun. Pretty much she's just a Terminator that can emote. She's a Terminator that can act, unless you're Martin, you're like, that bitch can't act.
I'm not really saying that so much. I mean, Mackenzie Davis. I kept thinking, I don't dislike this actress, but I don't like this character.
I don't think that there's a lot to the character, but I do like her as an actress, and I do like the character as far as keeping the momentum of the movie going with the action and introducing something new with her as an enhanced human.
I will say this about Mackenzie Davis, is that she's big and she's very physical, but she's also very feminine. So she really does come across as that female who could be like Wonder Woman or somebody who you could see beating the shit out of a man and you wouldn't even question it.
Yeah. Oh, y'all need to see pictures of her because she's kind of thin. There are moments where
when she's standing next to people, she's towering over a lot of them.
She's bigger and she got pecs.
Yeah,
she got bigger pecs of some dude. She's got veins going through her arms where she's worked out. Like that picture don't really show you. See, now that's the picture that's gonna get your ass whooped. Cause you know what I'm saying. You gonna think that you don't think she's some little waif of a girl,
No,
and
she's not a waif.
no, maybe that's what it is. I liked seeing her in action.
Yeah.
I thought that she owned up to the action scenes that her character is required to do very well. And like I said, I just like the character. Now there's some moments in here with the writing of the characters that are not very good, and I can tell you the reason why I do like her, because I'm gonna remember her. I'm gonna remember Sarah Connor, Linda Hamilton. Mm-hmm. These other new faces in here. Not so much.
No,
not at all.
No, the actual lead, the new target,
Natalie Reyes.
Yeah, I mean, A, she's not very good. B, her character is so thin, and they start out where you're like, all right, this is where you set up the character, so I get to know her. Oh no, you didn't.
No,
already.
No, exactly.
I just sat on my popcorn, and already she's run out the door.
She is no Sarah Connor, and I don't mean that she has to be the exact same person as that character, but we had a moment to learn who Sarah Connor is. We had a moment to care for that character, which you're supposed to do because she's being chased by a giant assassin robot.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I need to feel scared for you. I don't feel if I don't know you. It's like, all
I
right,
don't know you,
yeah, okay,
yeah, if you die, well, okay.
Yeah. The moment that we're introduced to her, she's we learn that one, she don't mind looking at her brother's dick. There's a weird scene where she goes in to wake up her brother for work, and her brother gets up and he ain't got no pants on. He just like, hey, he just waving that shit around. Hey, sister.
Yeah, I initially thought that was her boyfriend.
I did too.
And they're getting, she's like, come on, get dressed, and they're leaving. And then the dad is like, all right, you kids get to work on time. I was like, wait, what is going on here?
I was like, either y'all just had a threesome or this is your brother? Because he gets up and he's waving around like, hey, how you doing? What's going on? Yes, work, yes. And it's just like, and you expect her to be like, well, put some pants on, quit acting well, that's nasty. No, she's just kind of like, put some pants on, Diego. Breakfast is getting cold. And it's like, okay, ain't nobody gonna talk about this weird Game of Thrones shit that's going on right now. Because
he's acting like a toddler. And maybe they shared a bedroom together and they're like, listen, there's no boundaries between us anymore.
They're acting like high school students, but then they get up. I'm thinking they're going to school, but they're going to work.
They're going to work.
Okay.
They're like kids, man.
Yeah.
That's
she's
weird.
she's like a junior high student, and he's like an 8-year-old.
On the mentality.
Trying to chase his ass around.
Taking off his clothes. Taking off his clothes at work.
Diego, come here, put your pants. Diego. No. We don't know this girl. All we know about her is that she likes looking at her brother's dick. Other than that, we don't know anything about her. And then there's a moment in the movie. I'm not gonna tell you where it is, but there's a moment in the movie where they try to make her character bigger.
Okay.
Than what she's introduced.
Well, I imagine so, because they're trying to protect her.
And it is the
so false.
corniest, silliest part of the movie. And I can tell you, everybody in the audience is like, hey, look, no one's buying this shit.
Wow.
I don't even care if she dies. So ain't no one even buying this right here.
Exactly.
And it was played out. It was played out like a kid's movie, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, whatever went down, it would never work that way.
That's frustrating.
I wish I could tell you what it was, but they tried to set her up to be something else, and it's like no one's buying this.
Let me
shit.
tell you this.
Yeah.
We aren't going to tell you what it is.
Okay.
But if you sat long enough, you'd figure it out.
I'm sure I can.
Yeah.
You because there's a big thing they want to hide, and I'm like, I know what this is.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm in the movie 15 minutes.
I think I already figured it out right now.
They trying to hide this shit, and then he pull it down like, you can put that back in the closet. Ain't nobody buying this. Ain't no one's buying this, man. Nothing. It doesn't even look convincing.
No, it doesn't. I mean, that's the you said the words played out. That's just how I felt about this whole movie.
Yeah.
It's like, man, you all you're doing is just scooping old Terminators out of the trash, putting them in a tin and warming them up and serving them to me again. And I'm like, man, I ate this meal before. It was good the first time.
Oh, but we put some extra nuts and bolts in there.
yeah,
Martin,
yeah.
you know.
You understand? That's what the last three guys said they were going to do. And they actually did manage to do something different. Here, they don't really do anything different. It's just a little parallel moves. It's just a little switcheroos. Oh, my God. there's no heart here.
Yeah. And
disappointing.
And there's a big problem with trying to follow up a movie like Terminator and Terminator 2 that all these movies have missed. And I can lead into that by telling you about Gabriel Luna. Gabriel Luna, now, look, we know Gabriel Luna can act. Gabriel Luna has been in a lot of TV shows And I keep playing this clip all the time because, he was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. as Ghost Rider. Now, before that flaming skull pops up, he's actually very good. In fact, he's a good setup for that character.
¿Qué pues? Yo estaba aquí, torcido.
I love when people talk shit and about to get their ass like get burned in this case. You don't even know what's coming, man.
No fui el que tomó ese jale. Jale. No. Todavía queda uno.
Yeah, you didn't do the math.
Con permiso. Man, I want to watch this motherfucker get burned. I'm going to go in the review, but I love seeing this right here. Watch this dude right here.
Shit!
He beat everybody to the back.
Good acting.
Get the fuck out of here. But I wanted to play that. I didn't know I had it so long. But Gabriel Luna is a good actor. But and I tell you, man, there are parts in the movie where he's he's in a role that doesn't require much of him. I get that. And in a way, I get it for the movie too, because the whole common sense thing with the Terminator is like, it ain't supposed to be some big ass dude that stands out.
No.
I
know. I was thinking that when you were showing that clip from Salvation, when Arnold coming off the assembly line out of the freezer. I was like, yeah, why would you make him some big dude that everybody's going to look at?
Yeah, you want to be stealthy. You don't want to see this guy coming. So Gabriel Luna, man, he's definitely a very handsome guy, but normal looking compared to somebody like Schwarzenegger.
Right.
The thing with Schwarzenegger is that he's got a look that made him an icon. Mm-hmm. Now, as far as Gabriel Luna in this movie, there's nothing much for him to do, unfortunately. Even though that's the point, is that he's supposed to be something that's supposed to blend in. The problem with playing these Terminators is that you are nothing but a special effect. Mm-hmm. As far as being a memorable character that stands out, you're not. Arnold had an iconic look that stood out on any role.
Yeah, he had. It's weird how he had some kind of charisma as this robot. And prior to that, he'd always acted in movies where he was stiff, and it's like, well, you go play a robot. He has something. And then he did it, and it's like, it was actually kind of pretty cool.
Yeah, why don't you go play a robot? Okay. and he did, and you know what? I mean, it helped that you could barely understand him, because if for some reason, even though you could barely understand him, it made his lines more quotable.
I'll be back.
One of the most quotable lines in history.
Yeah.
And it took people a few times to rewind that shit. It's like, what did he say? It's Robert Patrick. Robert Patrick was didn't have the physique or the physical standout, iconic look that Schwarzenegger did. Mm-hmm. But
he was still memorable.
But you know why? Because, he was also just a special effect, but he was a groundbreaking special effect. He was a special effect that made history.
And his enemy.
He's a Terminator like you, right?
Not like me. Is the deadliest machine ever built.
That was a pioneering special effect. Even though we had seen, some of that effect used in music videos like Black and White with Michael Jackson and whatnot, we had not seen it used to this effect. They advanced it to where, this changed the way we saw fights in movies. We had never seen anything like it. Look, the effects look great in this movie too, but they're not groundbreaking.
No.
They're at this point, as wonderful as they look, they're normal.
Some of them don't even look that good.
What did you see in that you didn't think looked that good?
When it had him, Gabriel Luna, jumping from building to building, like jumping around.
Oh
like
that was definitely something like cartoon jumps.
Yeah.
Now it relies so much on CG
that
the last one. The last good one, Terminator 2, it only relied on CG when it had to do that big effect right there. A lot of other things were practical. There's just a lot of things in here because we've seen it so much before. We just we're not going to walk away with a whole lot of retention from this. We're not going to remember a whole lot. Some of the things you remember are things they don't even want you to remember. The character out of anybody that I remember the most in this movie is that Negro who tried to milk that 5 seconds of screen time. Do you remember this?
The bootleg Kevin
The
Hart.
bootleg, that's what you call the bootleg Kevin Hart. When y'all see this, and I know this, look, this is not a spoiler because you have to see it for yourself. They got 2 black dudes in the movie. One of them is on screen for 5 seconds, and he milks that.
Yeah.
Somebody comes in, and he's like, he don't even get a chance to finish. Hey, girl, what's up? Hey, you bring them Even the Terminator was kind of like, no one want to hear that shit.
Yeah, that's not what you were paid to do.
Everyone rooted for the Terminator when they killed that dude. Because he was just a stereotype. Hey, what's up, dude? Hey, what you bring them donuts for me? Everybody's like, kill him. Yeah. Kill him right now.
And yeah, when other black guy shows up, like, all right, I got this thing for you. Bam, 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 bam.
Yeah.
Jeez.
He didn't let him finish his sentence. It's just open season on Negroes in this movie. Damn.
That dude I felt bad for. The one that got stabbed in the neck.
No.
That bootleg Kevin Hart. I was like, thank you.
Yeah.
When they killed that nigga, I was like, thank you. Again, that brings us to the biggest flaw of the movie, I think, for everybody who's going to have some complaints about this film, is that, you know, the best movies in the franchise are 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And I told you why.
By a wide margin.
By a wide margin. The first one, you know, because both those movies gave you something that you hadn't seen before. They're a hard act to follow. The first Terminator is the one that made a superstar, brought him into the mainstream, Arnold Schwarzenegger. A lot of people thought that he was a special effect. They didn't even think he was real.
Well, everybody started making jokes about his acting after this.
Yeah, no, they brought him into the mainstream. The second Terminator, you know, I already told you that brought you a special effect that we had never seen before. So, you know, the morphing effects. So, you know, trying to follow those 2 movies, that's going to be very hard to do if you don't have anything new to introduce. And by the way, no one's asking a new Terminator movie to introduce new groundbreaking effects or a new action star to the world. What you need to realize is at this point, if you can't follow the groundbreaking aspects of the first 2 movies, write a good script.
Oh no!
I hate
Apparently, that's way too hard.
I hate to ask y'all to do some work, but you know, write a good script. All these people that talking about, well, you know, this one is the best one since the second one. That ain't that hard to do.
That's damning with faint praise.
You know,
don't put that on my tombstone.
that's like somebody bragging about, hey, you know what? I'm not up at work anymore.
Yeah.
What you want? A congratulations? A pat on the back? No, get your ass back to work. Do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
That's not as people say, that's not a hard bar to cross. And that's a lazy rationale behind praising this movie. You know, no one's asking them to invent anything new. Just stop putting us through the same story.
That's the one thing I hope. I was like, all right, you can't do anything groundbreaking. I mean, you should be able to. It's been 20 years. Well, no, I keep saying 20 years. I know it's got to have been almost 30.
It's 30 years now.
Yeah. But you write better characters or not give us the same scenarios over and over. Because it kind of spins its wheels. Like when you make a movie, things are supposed to escalate. This happens, and then this bigger thing, and that's what ratchets up the tension. But it's just going through tired action scene to tired action scene to tired action scene. None of them are impressive. And then what's said between the characters, actually, Linda Hamilton was actually very good. She handled what she was supposed to say, and she sold it. Everybody else, not so much. And we talk about Mackenzie Davis. With her character, when they first set her up and she shows up, I'm like, all right, she's establishing who she is. This is cool. But the longer it went on, like with her and Linda Hamilton together, what they decided her character was going to be was that she was always mad at Sarah Connor. Just times she was just like, I just want to punch you in the face. And it was like, that wasn't even called for. she just every time Sarah Connor say something, she had to say something shitty to her. And I'm like, unless this is going to lead to something that you know something about her that the rest of us don't know, you're kind of being an asshole for no reason.
Yeah.
So it's just creating fake tension because they're obligated to?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's incredibly frustrating.
It didn't bother me that much. And I think this is where you and I probably differ because I didn't mind the action scenes. Well, I say I didn't mind. I actually liked them. I mean, but I'm not talking about that I love them in a way where it made the movie better for me. I mean, the action scenes I thought were the most creative part of the film. I mean, I still think that they know the action scenes are the one thing that they got to get right in here. So I thought, you know, what they were doing for the action scenes was pretty cool. As far as, you know, the movie as a whole, it's reached Godzilla level now. You know, it's just kind of like where you just looking for robots to beat the shit out of each other. You're just looking for these creatures to get together and just fight. So, I think if that's what you're looking for in the movie, I still think it can be a fun film. It's not anything, again, that is anywhere deviating away from what we've seen before. Even though they introduce new enhanced humans and new Terminators that
get old,
that can split each other, and have, make Siamese twins out of each other and whatnot. There are some fun things to see visually. And would I like to see another one? I wouldn't mind seeing another one because of what I said. There's something that I mentioned that they can change the future if they follow this one thing that they promised in here, or at least hinted at. They actually won't even have to worry about, our job is done. We don't have to worry about trying to save the future anymore. What we got to do is do stuff now. I think that you'd be able to have Schwarzenegger back. You'd be able to bring Linda Hamilton back. You could still do some cool things with Terminators, but I just don't need to see this cycle repeated anymore.
Yeah.
If you do that, I'm good. If you don't, then y'all can keep that shit. I mean, if we're gonna keep repeating this over and over again, it's not advancing anything right here. It's not advancing the series at all. Is it true that this is the best one since Terminator 2? Yeah, it is. It's not that hard to do, but by saying that, I still think that it's a fun film to watch. To wrap it up, low matinee for me.
I mean, it's kind of like like I said, you're eating leftovers for the 5th time. And while this may not be the worst of the sequels, it's probably my least favorite. Because I was just sitting there, I was just like, this is really wasting my time.
Wow.
Damn, really worse than Genesis?
Okay, maybe not. No, I didn't say it was worse. I'm just saying
wasting your time.
I mean, it's right there with Genesis.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Where I was just like, but yeah, both of those movies, when Genesis came out, like, why are we doing this again?
That was a reboot of the first film.
Yeah, it was a reboot of the first film,
Yeah.
and then here we go again.
Right.
It's like it's saying it's a reboot. It's just pulling in those same elements. And what this franchise needs, it needs its own Logan, where somebody comes in and says, "All right, I'm making what could be the last Terminator movie, and I got a whole fresh new take on it." It's almost like watching a Terminator movie that was made for a Spanish channel. I give it a low rental.
All right. Yeah, I can definitely see it. I mean, it's because it is recycled. I can't argue with anybody. Like I didn't have a bad time with it. I actually think it moves pretty well, which is something I look for. You getting because I can understand people are bored because we've seen this shit.
Yeah.
But I didn't find myself bored with it.
I wasn't bored. Like, hey, the pacing's bad. I was bored where it's like, come on, man.
Yeah, we've seen
how many times I got to
this.
do this?
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's almost like this movie just pops up in that electrified sphere.
You're like, oh no, not you again.
Shit, God damn it. Yeah,
Because after Genesis, it seemed like they were like, all right, that was some bullshit. We're gonna get it back on track, and just made the same movie again.
Yeah. Hey, James, what you got to say? Nothing. I ain't saying shit. Just write me a check. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hey, thanks for sticking to the end of the video. That means so much to me, so I'm never going to let you go. So hit that subscribe button, get notifications, and if you really love us that much, and you do, go to our main site, doubletoasted.com. Over there, you'll find the long version of this video, along with many others, uncensored, unedited, I might add, and also the live streams that we do almost every night of the week. Oh, it works so hard for you. Check out our store, dtmerch.com, and remember to always stay toasty.